Hey guys, one thing I was thinking about with SMP that stops a lot of people is worrying quite a bit and a lot of fear, as in because it's a tattoo and that's permanent, that's linked to a lot of anxiety and fear and worry about actually having the procedure done. So it seems a lot more irreversible, and it's a weird contradiction because to me hair transplants are exactly the same, but people won't really think twice about, I'll get a hair transplant. You're having an operation there done on your head. You're having follicles taken out the back, massive needles put into the back to anaesthetize your head, which is probably the most excruciating pain anyone has to go through. Apparently, this is from what people have said. And then having implanted in your head, and you have to, it's just such a an operation, isn't it? It's such a surgery that, whereas people don't seem to be as worried about having that rather than SMP. So my point is, with SMP, don't worry too much about it. I understand if people haven't got tattoos, and it's quite a step, isn't it, to have your head tattooed. But I think you just got to look at it like it's the easiest kind of laser removal to do in one session. Most normal tattoos, when you have to have something removed, it takes about 10 sessions, and it'll probably take about a year for it to get light enough to actually leave the skin, for the molecules of ink to be to dissipate from the laser, and they get carried away in the bloodstream, and that's how a laser tattoo removal works. Whereas with SMP, it's just one session is all you need, because it's not like a tattoo in the way it goes underneath so many dermal layers of skin. It's on the very top sort of dermal layer, hence why you have to be careful with sun cream and wearing SPF when you're out in the sunshine, because it will fade a lot easier than a tattoo. So my point is, if it does go wrong, then you can just easily get it undone, and it's not as invasive as a hair transplant going wrong. So that is my one point about that. Also, be aware when you're looking into different SMP artists that just how they talk to you about the procedure. If it seems to you like they're very busy and they've got this sort of throwaway kind of mentality with it, oh yeah, it'll be two sessions and then yeah, it's done, any touch-ups needed. Or if you've got someone that talks to you about it and says, well, we're gonna just seems interested, and the shade and the pigment and your concerns about the hairline, and talking to you about the hairline. And so really ask them questions about the hairline and what they do to determine the best position for you, not just 4 fingers above the eyebrows. Talk about so my age, then how would you see my hairline being a natural hairline for someone of my age? So just ask questions like that, and if they give you responses oh, just there, it's fine, just normal sort of hairline, then they're sort of gonna be quite quick, and they're seeing it as a money grab kind of thing, a quick sort of procedure that they can just put you in 1 session, 2 sessions maybe, do it, and it's not, there's no care there, is there? So take that into consideration. Also, it's quite funny how your appearance changes with SMP. And being blonde, being completely honest with you, I need to tint my eyebrows to get them darker. My beard's not too bad because that's pretty gingery, that's pretty dark, but if I didn't do anything with my eyebrows, they're just white basically, and I would look like an egg, a hard-boiled egg, and that's not the look I'm going for. Even though I want to be full of protein, I don't want to look like an egg. So just think about you won't have this problem really, I don't think, if you've got dark hair. But if you are very pale, then, and having suddenly darker, a darker scalp, you do need to do something with your eyebrows to give your face definition. And there's nothing to be ashamed of with that. Sometimes I'm just not bothered anymore. I'll tell people, yeah, I've tinted my eyebrows slightly darker. So a lot of women do it all the time. Most of the people I work with, most of the women I work with would have really light eyebrows, and a lot of women tattoo their eyebrows as well. And there's no stigma around that. So I don't think there should be any you're less masculine for thinking about your appearance and how you can sort of I don't know, best sort of benefit from the SMP, like in terms of your face. So yeah, don't worry about stuff like that, I don't think, if you're pale, pasty and ginger. But it's quite rare, I think, because I am very pale. And I was at I started a new job, so I was at like a work leave and do kind of thing last week, and I hadn't seen some people for quite a while, and some people didn't recognize me because I had hair back then and white eyebrows. And so I was like, "You all right, mate? How's it going?" And they were like, "Hi, nice to meet you." I was like, no, we've worked together for like about 6 months. And it was, oh my god. So yeah. Also, it's been really terrible weather, and that's the good thing about being bald, is you don't have to. It was reminding me, storm force winds in the UK, rain and wind at your face. And I remember always having to like walk into that wind to keep my little remaining bit of fluff on my head pristine in this direction, because if it went like that, then anybody would see sort of like the scalp underneath. So basically, a few little SMP thoughts there for you. But don't have too much anxiety and worry around actually getting it done, because it is easily reversible, a lot more so than a permanent hair transplant that could scar you if they do it wrong. And there's a lot more scope for like bad hair transplants than there are bad SMP artists, I think. There's so many, like obviously it's not regulated in Turkey at all, so they're going to over harvest the donor area. You hear this, and then you're going to have too many scars on the back of your head. They'll have technicians do the implants for you, because they've just got too much going on. The actual doctors aren't going to do it. So there's a whole scope of things to worry about there and to actually go wrong. So if you're willing to shave your head and try and win the hair loss fight in terms of going bald, but just rock the shaved head look, really consider SMP before a hair transplant. And that's my thoughts. I'm due, as you can see, I'm walking around the woods again. It's changing in the lighting conditions and where the shine is. You can see, I mean, this is pretty short. I quite like this sort of length, really. I'll just keep it like this all the time now, and I'm quite happy with it. So there we go.